Hey guys.
Hi.
You're listening to Not As We Planned, so get ready for
Honest,
raw,
unfiltered,
unhinged story,
where we share our advice, opinions,
and talk about all the shit that people avoid discussing. We want to point out we are not qualified professionals, although I feel like I am one.
and what we say is the advice we would give to our besties.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode.
Just before we get started, make sure you are liking, subscribing, sharing, signing up to Patreon.
Absolutely.
You are missing some good gold
Crackers.
nuggets over there.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm actually currently processing, because I don't know if anyone knows, we film on a Thursday and obviously our main episode is out on a Thursday. So in the morning, I do sometimes like have a little recap and listen to what
I always listen to our episode as I'm getting ready.
and it's a swinging one, and it was a good one. It was a good
A
one.
little catch up.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Oh yes, because I went away, so I went on my little holiday with my sis. It was really, really nice. Just nice to unwind and just have some like proper relaxing kid-free time. I had a few Karens making comments.
Obviously.
But you know what? I just think like those people are probably just jealous that I had some kid-free time. Like
100%.
at the end of the day, being a mum shouldn't define us. And I saw an opportunity to go away with my sister.
Before I became a single parent, I never left my kid.
Yeah.
And do you remember at the start how hard I used to find it? And now
Embrace it.
I enjoy my kid-free time as much as I enjoy my time with kids.
And I'm not ashamed to say it. I had some annoying woman. I think I did a story and I wrote like my happy place, like being away. And she messaged me being like, isn't your happy place with your kids? It's like, for fuck's sake, of course it is as well, but you can have more than one happy place.
It's not
Like,
that deep, though.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, yeah. I'd rather be in Spain without my kids for the rest of my life rather than be with my kids.
Depends what mood they're in.
Yeah. So anyway, no, that was really, really nice. What else? Yeah, I'm still dating my tall guy, and yeah, it's
Enjoying it.
going with it. That's me really. I have nothing else to report. What about you?
I'm trying to think what I can and can't share. You know, like you obviously know. I had a bit of an interesting weekend. I can't really share too much. You do need to be careful, but I had a situation where I'd had a really positive morning where a big step in my new relationship was made. And I might, actually, I think I can share that. I can always cut it out. So, yeah. Basically, I actually met my boyfriend's ex-wife on Saturday. I just feel like I want to have known that we've always done the right thing. We've always been respectful, and like where we've waited so long with introducing the kids. I just want to know like we've done everything right, to have like a clean slate. Do you know what I mean? And the three of us went for coffee, and I know that's like a really weird situation. I think the reason I want to share it is because I think obviously my experience of like meeting someone else hasn't necessarily been the most positive experience. I really want to share a positive experience. We went for coffee, and yeah, like at first we were like, isn't this a really strange situation? And of course it is, but we sat and had a very civil, and I would actually go as far as saying quite nice conversation. Like, I think at the end of the day, when you're working with other people who also want what's best for the kids, who actually want to see their ex happy, you know, everyone's happier. And I don't know, it made me feel really positive. I just felt like it was the next step forwards in our relationship. Like, I feel like sometimes when we're around his area, like there's certain places we don't want to go in case we bump into them, because I would never want to make her feel uncomfortable. And it's just like that elephant in the room has now been shown. And yeah, it's nice to know who's going to spend time with your kids. And it was nice, like, if we do bump into her, I can have a conversation. Yeah, I wanted to share it because I think there's obviously going to be people in that situation, and we get messages like, oh, I want to meet or whatever it is. And I would say like there can be a positive outcome there,
because she's got no reason to have any bad feeling towards you because you weren't in the picture when they were.
No.
I think that it is maybe a slightly different situation. It's so nice that you were able to do that. And I think that it shows the type of person that you are to offer it. But I think that flip that around with your situation, it's very...
I agree, but I think it also made me realise what I would have really liked is for someone to be like, we might not have got off to the best start, but we're going to be in each other's lives.
Set realistic expectations.
I know, but I think I actually
would be nice.
So I was in the car on the way back feeling really positive, and I just thought, wow, like there can be really mature adult ways of dealing with this. And then I think I felt really frustrated, like, because I am the girlfriend, like I saw it from a completely different point of view. And like my priority was to make sure as the mother to the children I'm going to be spending time with, that she felt as comfortable as possible. Look, it's uncomfortable for anyone. I said to her, like, I just want you to know, like, I completely understand how you're feeling. And like, I want to try and make that as easy as possible. And for everyone just to know, like, we are going to prioritize the kids. So yeah, anyway, I got back and there was a situation, and it wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't pleasant. And I think it felt worse because I'd had such... I don't know, I was on such a high,
Yeah.
and it felt, I felt like I got a bit knocked. But what I will say is it has just given me a little bit of a wake-up call, and it's maybe made some really big decisions this week. And here's to happier future. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I just think it showed me, like, and what I kind of realised, I've done a bit of self-reflection, but I realised I really do try and see the best in people, and actually sometimes... that might not exist, and you've just got to look after yourself and prioritise your kids. And I won't lie, like, it's been a mentally draining week. Like, I have been in a really bad headspace, and I'm still not completely out of it. I'm struggling a little bit at the moment, but I'm aware of what's causing it, and I guess that's a good thing. And just trying to focus on the things that I can control at the moment.
That.
So.
Yeah,
That's, interesting week, but I am going away this weekend, which is like a nice thing to look. I feel like I've needed something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. But
good.
Should we delve in?
Let's do it. Okay, so this stood out to me. I messaged you the minute I saw it come in. I was like, don't read it. This is called A Man's Point of View. Are we ready? Hi, guys. Please keep me anonymous as my ex listens.
But she's going to so know it's her, right?
Well, I guess we'll wait and see if she responds. I would like to preface that although it may seem like it, I'm not forced to write this. Haha. I really do hope you read this out on the podcast, as me and my ex are long-time listeners.
This is weird. What, do you used to listen together and then you broke up? Or like...
I don't know.
Maybe she's like, you should listen.
So, I'm one of those men that cheated.
Oh my God, we said we'd never get someone.
Yeah. Okay. It was never physical, and it was a few texts and a phone call. If I'm honest, I still do not know why I did it. I had everything. A nice house, not big, not perfect, but it was ours. 2 lovely girls, a beautiful partner, and literally I had the world in my hands. I don't know why I suddenly got goosebumps, like crying. For some reason, still unbeknown to me, I chose to message some disease-riddled slag. I threw my life away for her. I don't know why I did it. I wouldn't have gone any further. She's actually disgusting. What the hell is actually wrong with me? I did the usual, tried to lie and hide it, but of course didn't do a good job, and she found out. I broke her heart, and for no reason at all. I still to this day feel guilty, and not that I got caught, but that I did it. I've done a lot of self-learning since. I'm attending therapy to help with my lying. I'd lied a lot of the time for silly things and for no reason. Of course, I want her back. I would do anything to get her back. But I've also grown enough to know that maybe it's best that we don't get back together. I know she would never fully trust me or be happy again. All I want is for her to be happy. And if that's with a new person, then so be it. I do completely agree with you that some men are pigs, but trust me when I say I would do anything to take back the heartache I caused and make her life amazing like she deserves. Thank you, girls, for your podcast, because it has also helped me learn a lot as well. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really interesting that he genuinely has no idea why he did it. because
that scares me.
But there has to be a reason. There is an underlying reason that he hasn't yet figured out. In my personal,
You're
do you not think?
Look, at the end of the day, you've got to respect a man for taking accountability for his actions. I think the thing for me is too many people make mistakes, but the damage is done and it's too late. Like, he's right. Like, she probably would struggle to trust you again. And I think the fact that you don't know why you did it
means you could do it again.
You could do it again because there was no... And I think that would make me worry as someone to be like, well, if you don't know, how do you know that won't happen? Yeah, I'm glad you agree.
If you don't know why you did it, then how do you know you won't do it again?
Whereas if you know the reason you did it, like it might have been, that's something you can tackle. Look, you've got to respect him for writing in. I feel like that's quite like a big declaration. And can you let us know if like anything happens or you have a conversation or something happens as a result? I don't know. For me, that's what stood out from that email is like, why don't you know?
I also think that him saying that he appreciates maybe it's best they don't get back together because she probably would never trust him and then not be happy. That resonated with me because I feel like my relationship in theory was sort of doomed because I'm not that person. You know how you said that you would be that person that would never be able to like forgive, so you walked away? I'm that person too, but I didn't walk away. I'm the prime example of how your relationship would have been if you took him back.
Yeah, 100%.
Like years of just like resentment, paranoia.
I was just like, well, that's it.
And if she's that sort of person, then he is right in saying that they shouldn't get back together.
Okay.
But sometimes, and we've seen it before, you've experienced it in your life in general, we have seen that sometimes things like this, they can bring people closer together.
And the fact that he's doing the work, that is massive. Like the fact he's taken that accountability and he's not just said like, oh, I realise this. He's gone away, he's doing therapy. Like that does show that he recognises, I don't know, maybe he doesn't know, and maybe that's why he's doing therapy to figure out like what it is missing. I think some people don't have that awareness, like, but what's making him lie? Does he feel like he can't actually communicate his real feeling? Like there's got to be some reason he's lying.
Maybe he's lacking that, like he wants that dopamine rush of like doing something that he should. I don't know. There might be like more of a psychological like reason, but
he's doing the therapy, and that's a really positive step.
Thank you for sending it.
Updated.
So while Carly is quickly getting up an email, I have a hack for you guys. Have you ever wanted to view someone's Instagram stories and not have them see that you have viewed it? Because I have a hack. I have a hack where you can view a story.
I'm not a stalker like you.
No, to be honest, it's not really anyone's stories that I want to look at, but I saw this hack on TikTok and I thought, how many listeners of ours are going to want to know this? So are you ready, guys? Here is how you view someone's story on Instagram and they will never know you viewed it. So what you need to do is go onto Instagram and refresh your page and make sure their story is at the top, okay? Like ready to be viewed.
Right.
Then go and put your phone onto airplane mode. Go back onto Instagram and you can watch their whole story. And then once you've viewed their whole story, then turn airplane mode off and they will never know that you have viewed their stories. You will not come up on that list of story views.
Imagine if like Instagram have figured out this and then all these people are doing it and really got that. We should try it.
We should try it. But yeah, you're welcome. So go and view. Go and stalk all those exes, all the people that you want to look at.
I don't have anyone worse.
No, neither do I.
Think that's positive.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good things. Right. Well, this one,
for anyone else.
For all you people who need to stalk. Right. Creepy uses of AI.
Okay.
Never had a title like this.
No.
But hey, girls, first and foremost, I wanted to shout out how much I love your podcast and listen to you each week. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on my situation, but please keep my name anonymous. Where to actually start? I guess I should start back to 2 years ago when I met my current partner. He seemed to be everything I was looking for in a guy initially. He's kind, thoughtful, funny, and he loves my daughter. I'd been renting my own place for about a year, and after 6 months of dating, he asked me to move in with him. Things were great initially, until just before Christmas when an old friend of his came back into his life. He'd asked me if I was okay with him having a female friend, which of course I was, as long as there was nothing more to it. They were texting quite frequently and something just didn't sit right with me. I think when you get that feeling of it feeling weird.
How long has she been with him before this friend turned up? Over 6 months.
6 months of dating. They moved in together. Things were great initially until just before Christmas, so I don't know when.
Over 6 months. I think for me, the thing is, like, we've spoken about platonic relationships before and like maybe like a fine line, not knowing like how we sit with it. But when you've been with someone for over 6 months and then out of nowhere,
come back
this
in.
friend, like, you're not close enough to need a relationship. That's my thought.
I wouldn't be okay with it. And that's
not if you've been with someone for over 6 months and then out of
and they weren't there and now they're back.
Yeah, like you didn't know who they were.
Right.
Weird.
If they're a good enough friend, they're there from the start.
100%.
Agree. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's bear that in mind, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They were texting quite frequently and something just didn't sit quite right with me. We met up as couples for breakfast and then he was supposed to meet her again the following weekend for a dog walk. But one morning, I decided to go through his phone. I definitely don't agree with my actions. No. Let's never justify our actions. You went through his phone because you got that feeling. And when you get that gut feeling, you need to find the evidence.
Yeah.
You do. And I don't think that's wrong. And like, we have an open phone policy. I still don't remember his PIN, but he will tell me if I want it. Saying like, I'm just not very good at remembering numbers. He's always said to me, I'll set you up a Face ID. I'm like, I don't want
I've got to be honest. I had it with my ex-boyfriend. I've got it now with the person that I'm dating. Never ever felt the need to touch their phone.
I've not looked down my ex's phone.
I
have looked down my ex. I tried.
I knew my ex-boyfriend's PIN only because it was like the most basic PIN ever. I went to like 0000. If anyone wants to check the phone, there you go. No, but like I have no desire. I have absolutely no idea where his PIN is. Not because he's hiding it from me, but just because
But you've not got that feeling. And that's what I mean. I think if you've got that feeling,
go with it.
I don't think you're doing anything wrong. No, justify your actions. I think he's giving you a reason to feel like that. Lo and behold, he was sending messages to her, calling her beautiful. I just couldn't read any further and confronted him. That is not okay.
I understand how you feel about not reading further because there's stuff that I found once. And it's like I've had a mental block because I cannot remember anything. And I think when you're so shocked and almost humiliated, you don't want to know anymore. You know, it's that you look, hoping you don't find anything. But then when you found something, you're like, oh my God, I can't look anymore. I can't relate.
I can't relate.
No,
I feel like I'm the kind of person, I'm like, I need to know everything.
Do you know what? I was like that once we separated and I got onto his emails, but I wasn't like that when I wasn't ready to leave. That's when it is. That's why. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. I feel like that would sting. I feel like it's one thing seeing like dirty messages. It's another like was like beautiful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He told me that he'd actually had a thing with her previously. Not okay.
Not platonic then.
Not platonic, not okay. And that is why you felt that way. He'd actually had a thing with her previously and some feelings had come back up when they met, but nothing would happen. I left him and moved in temporarily with my parents as although nothing happened, lying is something that just doesn't sit right with me. But no.
Yeah.
He begged for me to come back, cut her out of his life and promised me that he would never lie to me again, so I decided to give him another chance. 6 months later, things were back to normal again, and we had been looking to buy a place together. He said this was his way of showing me how serious he was about me, and he did pretty much pay for everything. 3 weeks after we move into our home, I get that horrible feeling in my stomach again. And again, I go to look at his phone. And I find more lies.
Oh, God.
But what's worse, I find multiple images of his work colleagues and friends' girlfriends naked. He has...
What?
What?
What? Oh my God, what?
He has used an AI tool to create photos and videos of them.
What?
So I don't know if they're actually naked, but he's like created.
Who knew you could do that?
What's like? Hang on, I've got to read this again.
Wanking material.
I find multiple images of his work colleagues and friends' girlfriends naked. He has used an AI tool.
Oh my God, they're fake. His friend's girlfriend.
And he's sitting there like, can you imagine, like, in your free time, he's like on this app trying to
But that AI is fucking creepy if you can do that. I didn't know you could do that. I thought it just spoke.
I don't know what it is. I don't like this AI stuff. It scares me. He's used an AI tool to create photos and videos of them. I felt physically sick. I generally think that it's just creepy, and I'm not against porn and understand men have fantasies, but surely this is crossing a line.
Oh, completely.
Oh, so he just like finds pictures of people he likes and then like makes an... I don't understand it.
It's the fact that it's his friend's girlfriend. Can you imagine?
Weird. Surely, can you imagine you found out like a guy had created an AI of you naked? I heard it somewhere, like, this is the danger. Like, people can do this and then like
make out it's real,
and like there'll be nudes of you on the internet and it's not you.
I better be skinny. Make me skinny and toned.
Right. Sorry, this is actually blowing my mind right now. When I confronted him, his response was that all men do it.
I don't know
they do, hon.
No, they fucking don't. Don't drag everyone down.
Like, can you write in if you've done this or if you've ever caught someone doing this? Because this is the first time I've ever heard.
I love that he was literally dragging the whole male population down with him. Like, oh, do it with me.
And it's just a fantasy and nothing more. But to be honest, I'm just horrified and I don't know if I can look at him in the same way. Absolutely, I'd be like, oh,
no.
It's the fact it's people he knows.
Yeah, like, are you now going to go on a double date with his friends and the girlfriends knowing that he's got fake naked photos of her on his phone that he uses as wanking material?
I'd go and tell them. I'd be like, my boyfriend,
because I'd be mortified.
If I'm lying.
Yeah, it's such a lie. Why do you lie all the time?
I love everyone does it. And then he's been using a fake Instagram account to access the photographs. I now feel very stuck and tricked into a situation as we have just gotten a mortgage together and it would be financially messy to get out, but I also moved my daughter into this area for school and I don't want any of this to affect her either. Outside of all the above, we get on well as a couple. He's all the things I'd initially thought, but he seems to have this side to him which doesn't understand appropriate boundaries around women. Please give me your thoughts on this.
I don't think it's ever personally too late to leave someone.
There's always a way out.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, it's maybe slightly financially messy, but...
That's weird. I'm sorry. That's a massive boundary.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Well, I just think that's what you found. Imagine what you haven't found. Sorry, not to put ideas in your head, but like, what next thing's it going to be like? It's making the eye of your mum.
No, right. You think I'm laughing more at your loss? Oh dear. Like, that is honestly like, exactly what I thought. Like, oh, but all men do it.
I'm going to ask my boyfriend if he's ever done that. I hope he has.
I'm telling you now, he hasn't. Can you imagine? Like, yeah,
I'd leave him.
All you need next is a naked photo of your mum or your sister on his phone, and he'll think, oh,
where's the line?
No.
There is no line because it's your friend's girlfriend.
Like, it's weird.
That's disrespectful. I don't trust him.
No.
I would get rid and, yeah, it's shit, but you'll get out. Sorry if that's not more helpful, but I'm slightly shocked right now. What the fuck? I forgot the title name, so I hadn't clocked where that was going.
Oh. Okay, this is called Advice, Have I Gone Crazy?
Probably not, but he's probably called you it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Hi, Tash and Kylie. I found your podcast over the summer and have signed up to Patreon after becoming addicted.
You love to hear it.
I'm emailing in as I feel like I'm going crazy and have no backbone. I can relate. I've been with my husband for nearly 17 years and we have 3 children together. 2 of them have additional needs and are complex. Around 2 years ago, communication became an issue. He was unhappy at work and we found home life hard with our children having additional needs. We didn't have much support with the kids at all. He started drinking more, which caused more rows, and I threw myself into work, creating more distance. Summer 2023, we agreed to have couples therapy to help us get out of this rut. We went to 2 sessions and then I found out that he was having an emotional affair with someone at work.
Another one.
By seeing texts on his phone and that he had been buying cannabis products off her for the past year. Look, can I know that's
Like a turn of events.
This totally floored me. Drugs of any kind are not tolerated by me, and I cannot believe he would be this irresponsible when he had kids in the house. Some of the products looked like sweets. I didn't want to continue therapy at this point because I was so angry and felt like this was it.
Valid.
It was so shocking, and I think a year on, I'm still shocked now. I'd really learned to trust him with my life. After having years of thinking that no man could be trusted, he changed that for me. He was always known as that nice guy, the man everyone respected, the easygoing, trustworthy guy. Everyone does still believe him to be this. After I confronted him, he said he didn't really see what the problem was. He hadn't had sex with a woman at work and he would get rid of the cannabis. There is nothing worse than being caught doing something wrong and then them playing it down and making out it's not a big deal.
And like you're making it into a big deal and like your feelings aren't valid.
I'd read messages between them where she told him to lie to me about the cannabis and hide it, and where they had called each other pet names all the time and shared intimate conversations and even little things like listening to songs each other recommended, all the while I was being ignored or disrespected. I know some people won't agree that emotional affairs are actually affairs. Only the people that are doing the emotional affair will agree that it's not an affair. It is an affair. It is. But this cut deep and really hurt. He said that he felt trapped and restricted by the kids and that I left them with him all the time, which was nowhere near true, so I felt like I was going crazy. He's just gaslighting you, babe. He said that he didn't want to separate at this point. I said that if he stopped this thing with the woman at work and went to his own therapy, we could maybe carry on and make this work again. He agreed. A couple of weeks later, I found more messages between them, seemingly closer than ever. Only she was under a different name in his phone. Presumably so I wouldn't know it was her he was still talking to. Again, I confronted him and he said he was sorry and she didn't mean anything, that I was crazy for acting like this because he doesn't even find her attractive. They just talk and I'm being a psycho. Oh.
Yeah. And I bet so many people listen to this are like,
yeah, they're like nodding along.
We're the psycho.
But what I felt was that he really wanted me still. He wouldn't jeopardise that by doing this. He'd also given up after one session of his own therapy. So following the final blow, me and the kids left in November last year. His family disowned me and the kids straight away. His mum accused me of having the affair. Can't bear the annoying, enabling, stupid, thick mother-in-law.
Yeah, but I think you sometimes have to remember you don't know what's being said the other side. And I think sometimes stories are very much altered.
I was absolutely broken. The rage I felt inside me was huge. Fast forward to January this year and the anger I had subsided and I was grieving the loss of our marriage and our family unit. I couldn't believe that we weren't going to have any more family holidays or Christmases together, and the thought of me being close to another man made me want to vomit. I also missed the old us, so I began listening to our songs and watching old box sets that we liked. Big mistake. This obviously made me feel worse. All I could think about was him, what he was doing, and why didn't he miss us and our little family. I tried to talk to him and wanted to get back together despite all the issues, pretty much begged him. He agreed to go back to our couples counsellor together to see if we could repair us. I was so anxious, I really wanted to get back to what we used to have. We then began dating in March this year and going to couples therapy. It became very apparent that he was already seeing and sleeping with the other woman. He then lied about this to me in therapy, but I had already seen the messages in his phone confirming it. The couples therapist told us that him sleeping and seeing other women whilst we were separated was not actually infidelity, even though it just felt like it. So I vowed to move on from it. I don't like that.
But yeah, couples therapy, you're trying to work on it. Surely that's not.
I understand that it's in theory not infidelity because they're separated. I don't know, let's carry on. But then in August this year, following completion of the couples therapy, I found out that he'd slept with this one woman once we were already back together in March. I was gutted. I remembered so clearly the lies he told me on that night he was actually with her, and how actually he blamed me for him needing the so-called space that evening. I've worked so much on myself in my own therapy and self-help books, retreat. I've tried so hard to get back what we had, and I feel like I've lost myself and my confidence since I found out in August about him sleeping with a woman in March. I've tried less. I'm also recently found out that my mum has cancer and my granddad is also very poorly, so my marriage woes seem stupid but still significant. I was beginning to trust him, but I still make digs about the other women if we argue. I know this is bad, but I'm really trying hard, and every time I feel like I'm getting there, it's like another lie uncovered. I feel crazy when I'm with him. I love being with him when it's going well, of course, but I'm constantly thinking about the lies and other women, or over-analysing if we argue. He says he wants to move in and that we can get past this, but I'm literally torn with it all. Logically, I feel it's over and can't be repaired, but in my heart, I want to be what we had, and I want to be a family with the kids, and I want to grow old with him. Look, I wonder whether you feel differently hearing us read that out loud, but it's very much like what we have said before. You are holding on to the idea of him. You're so fixated on getting the old you back, but that's not a thing anymore. Like, that's never going to happen, because what you've gone through and what you've experienced with finding things out and the lies and the infidelity and the cheating, that now being in your head and having happen and being out in the open means that you're never ever going to go back. Like,
too much has happened as well. It sounds like where like there's been opportunities for him to tell the truth, and like more and more things are uncovering. Like, let me tell you, compulsive liars don't change. And you know what you know. I guarantee there's more that you don't know. And I think, yeah, I agree with Tash. I think you're holding on to the idea of this person, the idea of someone he could have been at one point, but he's not a real person. He doesn't exist. And you need to set yourself free from it. And I know that feels so impossible, because your whole life ahead of you, all you've imagined is spending your life with him, and you can't see it being any other way. But I guarantee you deserve so much more. You deserve respect and love and to be treated with kindness. And if he can't give you that, even just being on your own, at least you're not constantly questioning yourself. Like the fact that you believe you're psycho, you're crazy. Please know that you're not. And please know that's so common when people are behaving this way, is that's how they make themselves feel better. And I know a lot of people listen to this will certainly relate to having felt and been told those things. But
so he's not taking any accountability. I don't hear any
it's all her fault.
Yeah. I think sadly, and this is the truth, he's not going to change, and your relationship will never get back to what you're hoping it will be. So you can stay with him, but don't ever expect to get to a happy place with him. You need to go through that short-term pain to come out the other side. At least leaving him, there's hope. There isn't any hope by staying with him, unfortunately. Like, nothing will change. You might have those few months of like, oh, I really think that things are good, but it's not real.
I think, God, why, like, do the list thing. Why do you want to be with him? What are however many qualities, good qualities? What are all the bad? Like,
yeah, but I bet the good qualities are actually a lot of
not
them
real, though.
From you thinking, like, putting them on him, like,
or what he could have been.
Yeah,
at one point.
Yeah, I think you know that you need to get out of that.
I think that's why you wrote in as well.
Yeah,
he won't stop messaging other women.
How original.
Get a new plot. Hello, I'd love to know your thoughts. Hello. I'd love to know your thoughts and advice. I'm at the crossroads of having to make a decision to forgive or leave and start the journey to becoming co-parents. For context, I'm 34, he's 43. I've been together for coming up to 8 years, and we have 2 children who are 5 and almost 1. Around 4 years ago, I found messages on his phone to other women. Some innocent, some flirtatious and inappropriate. There was also a number of likes and loves on bikini pictures of other women, and I also found confirmation emails of him joining dating sites.
What?
I chose to forgive, and we went on to have another baby. A few months ago, I found more messages. Although the content was innocent, that I know of, it brought back a lot of feelings and hurt. This weekend, I found more. There are multiple girls, and again, the content isn't flirtatious or planning to meet up, but I still feel very hurt. His view is that I'm being unfair, asking him to stop speaking to these other women because there is no intention in it, even though he knows it hurts me. Am I being irrational? Am I crazy?
I'm in shock.
No.
Hold on. He doesn't understand why she wants him to stop. Do you know what? Irrelevant of any of that, the fact that he doesn't think he should stop, I think says it all. I'm baffled.
Can't it? Just processing.
Like, that's weird.
Aside from everything, and aside from like just being a normal human being and knowing like that is wrong, you're in a relationship, you don't mess with other women, it's the fact you've expressed something that makes you uncomfortable and he hasn't validated that, he hasn't understood it, and he's not willing to make the changes. For me, that tells me everything you should be listening to. He doesn't respect you. He doesn't care how his actions are making you feel. I think to be in a good, supportive relationship, you need to be with someone who validates your feelings, who wants you to feel safe, who wants you to feel secure, who, you know, will change their behaviours and constantly want to work on themselves to become a better person, to become a better boyfriend, husband, whatever it is. He is not doing any of those things. You need to walk away. This man is not going to change. I'm sorry, but like, no, I don't care if it's not flirty. It is wrong. If it,
he was on fucking dating sites.
Can I say as well, and I want all you women listening to this who have been made to feel crazy, I want you to say it with me. I am not crazy.
I am not crazy.
I am not a psycho.
I am not a psycho.
I am not mental.
I'm not mental.
Just with the gaslighting man.
It's all on him.
Yeah. Like, please do not let these men feel you, like make you ever feel like the way you're feeling is invalid or like it's on you. They're projecting their awful, disrespectful behaviour. And do you know what? Sometimes it gets to the point where I'm sick of hearing it again and again because, and look, it's not just men and there are women out there who do it too, but it actually really fucking triggers me.
Do you know what else I think is sometimes scary? Is it can be done in ways that
you don't, really manipulative.
No, but are really not obvious.
Subtle.
Like, won't be using words like I mean, I had it, and I know that you did too, is when it's done in such a way where you do sit there and start questioning, like,
oh, maybe I am being unreasonable.
Am I being a bit over dramatic? Because I know I can be dramatic. So, and then the minute I caught myself, even in my last relationship, questioning things that actually I really strongly believe to be valid and correct. And the minute you see it and your eyes are open, you'll see it more and more. And don't ignore it, because it's just not, it's not acceptable in a relationship. Leave, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, confession of the week. Are you ready? Do you know what? Sometimes I think, wow, we've got a lot of information on this phone. Okay. 2 years ago, I found out that I was pregnant with my partner, who I'm actually still with. I didn't feel ready to have a baby, so I had an abortion, and to this day, he still doesn't know.
I don't know how you live with that.
Do you know what? It's the fact that they're still together. Do you know what I mean?
That must be like eating her alive. And what if like they're at a point now where they're like...
I guess we don't know whether they've already got kids.
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's a confession and a half.
Okay, affirmation.
Make sure you send your confessions in, by the way. Affirmation of the week.
I am not held back by fear, doubt, or disappointment. I like that in regards to a lot of our stories. A lot of us are scared of leaving or scared of doing something and doubting ourselves, because we're made to doubt ourselves and our actions and our emotions. So I am not held back by fear, doubt, disappointment.
Love that. Thank you so much, guys. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again next week.
See you next week.
Bye.